Hi guys, welcome to my garden on a beautiful lovely day. I've sat out here looking at things to draw, and the most beautiful, well, I think it's the nicest scene is looking at my greenhouse, or should I say Debbie's greenhouse, because she's the gardener around here, takes after her dad, does all the green fingered things. Basically I just help cut the hedges, which are enormous. What we've got in front of my greenhouse is sort of like a tomato pot, step ladder, an old chimney, a couple of pots and other things. You'll see as we go along. Now the first thing I'm going to do is, the most prominent thing there is the actual strawberry pot, which we don't actually use it as a strawberry pot. Deb's put some nice plants in there. It's quite decorative, I quite like it. It's got little, I'm just doing the top lip. It's an ellipse. I'm just very lightly penciling it in just to get the plane shape. Then it comes out slightly at the top and then down in a kind of a tapering into the bottom. Again, it's sat on something and we can see it from above, so the bottom is curved. We don't have flat bottoms on items, not like when we were children. We used to draw milk bottles and stuff with flat bottoms. In the bottom of coming out of the side of this little planter, strawberry pot, there's little sort of cups that we're supposed to be putting our strawberries in here and that hang over. It's got 3 or 4 on it at various heights around it. But Debbie's put various plants in. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm not green fingered at all. The garden's Debbie's and it's beautiful. We would benefit from her love of gardening and her knowledge. So we've got like a strawberry pot with these cups in. That's our main feature. In those holes, and we've got a little one around here, in those holes Debbie's planted some, I don't exactly know what they're called, heat loving ones in the side because they don't need much drainage.
It's a rhododendron.
A rhododendron. Oh well, there we go, Deb's chipped in from the back there. My little has said that there's a couple of rhododendrons into them. They're green and pink leaf ones. We don't actually have to show exactly what they are. Perfect. I'm not a floral artist. We're just here to give an impression of what's in those little pots. And I'm doing that by doing some little half circles to give an indication of circular leaves. And there's a couple more. There's another rhododendron in this bottom one here. And again, I'm just indicating with half circles to come and give the indication that there's some leaves. And this one over here is a smaller, sort of like a very small leaf, leggy, branchy one.
Tony Aster.
Oh, Debbie shouted in again.
The pots with just nothing in are colours.
I'm just talking to my Cargo. She's back. She's home, but she's home. Everybody, she's listening. So we've got our main feature pot. Behind the pot is a step ladder. I believe it was Deb's mum's. We brought it down here and we're putting it to use as a little bit of a shelving unit. Comes straight up behind. I'm just doing some very thin lines at the moment to indicate where they are. I hope you can see I'm not putting them in permanent just yet because I want to work out where things are. And on the other side it just goes past the pot. Again, it's a couple of parallel lines, working the way up. And there we go. Some lovely shadows over my drawings, but hopefully that's because the sun's on that side. Hopefully you can see my picture. It will be getting a bit more definition to it later on when I come into give it together. So we'll go to, and the top shelf, the first shelf we can see is just above the pot. Coming across. Turn my book around a little bit because my hand your hand tends to have a natural curve, so rather than work against it, I've moved my pages and twisted it around. So that's my first shelf. I've noticed that I would be able to get 2 pots on top of each other before my second step comes up. So it's again using visual maths. You've got your second shelf or step, as if it's in its traditional, doing its traditional job, is about 2 heights of the strawberry pot. I'm trying not to shout, although I want people to hear me, because I don't want my neighbours thinking, who's that silly sod next door talking to. Then I've got my top step, which actually hangs over the actual legs, because this is the area that, if it was being used for a traditional set of steps, is where you would stand. So that's the height roughly. Now what we've got here is, on the first step we've got a small bonsai plant. It's set in a bowl. That's a circular bowl with tapering ends, and again we can just see slightly inside that because of our eye level. And then we've got inside that a further bowl that actually contains the tree itself. Now, a lot of people say, I've asked people what they thought, what the meaning of bonsai is, and they've all said, oh, little trees. Well, myself and Daddy went to our local bonsai specialists, and what they came and told us was, this guy tours the world giving demonstrations on bonsai trees. He says the actual word bonsai actually just refers to grown within a pot. So that's why you can still see massive trees. He's got some in his unit of about 4 or 5, maybe 5 foot high. And you think, well, they're not bonsais, they're too big. It wasn't the fact that there was the height, it was the fact that they were growing in a pot. So that's what it comes from, growing in a pot. Now I'm just drawing the trunk of this bowl's full of moss, and the trunk of the tree is coming off. It's quite a nice tree. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I think it's some sort of quick cherry or...
What one's a tree? A plum? Bottom one's plum.
So the bottom one's a small plum tree, according to Debbie the gardener. And I'm just indicating some leaves. You don't have to be perfect and spot on, we're just indicating that there's some leaves there. It comes up again. As you all know, trees grow, so they get thinner towards the top. And it's got some amazing branches on it, this one, going down. It's just quite a nice shape, with lots of little leaves. Again, I'm hoping you can see most of my drawing I've been doing, you'll have seen it in shade. I'm going to hopefully remember every now and again to stop and show you where I'm going because of the shade coming in. This is, again, we're just indicating that there's leaves there. It doesn't have to be perfect, because this can be altered and coloured, and just showing where things are once you get back to your main drawing. Remember, this is just a planned drawing for a future painting. Again, more leaves are coming over here. Lots of little leaves. And I'm just doing, again, I'm doing this with just indicating with little half-shaped rooms. And again, this has got there is a special name for what we call them, dead branches and bonsais. I can't remember what they did tell us. So that's our first bonsai on the first step. The next one, we've actually got another one which sits on the top step of our steps. Came on more of a traditional oval, well not oval, rectangular bowl that bonsai people use. This one's got some rocks and pebbles in there to give it a little bit of a sort of a ground feeling. And the tree comes out rather stubby at one side, at the bottom, and bushy, and the branches come towards you, and you see lots and lots of I'm going to stumble these in, and plus there's lots of leaves on, lots and lots of small leaves on this. And they cover the stump and they cover the bark and the trunk, should I say. There's a tree that curves and bends behind and comes towards you. Again, lots and lots of leaves. I'm just stumbling. That's a technical word, you know, stumbling. It's basically scribbling with a purpose. You hear the birds telling me to get out of the way because they want to come down and feed and go into our bird baths. I think, come on John, get out of the way, it's not your time, you've had all day. Here we go again, just indicating that there's something there, some leaves there. Again, this can be just an indication because you're going to improve on that when you do your painting. And there's my tree in the little bowl. Now again, this has just been done lightly because I wanted to thought better it later. Behind it we've got a little bit of a back shelf, and the back legs come down, they're a little bit thicker. Just doing them very light lines just to indicate that they're there, so I don't want to distract from the main painting picture. Now I've left this strawberry pot for a while because I wanted to get this bowl in first, see where it is, because part of this has got some, what's the yellow plants, Debbie, in the top of there?
Where?
In the top of the strawberry planter.
There's a herb, but I don't know quite what it is.
I've got a big yellow herb, unfortunately Debbie can't remember the name, but it's a big bright yellow herb. It's got lots of little yellow leaves and flowers on, and it comes out and it's a real bush. So it comes up and it bushes all over. Again, it's stumbling, but with a purpose, to indicate that there are flowers there and bushes there. And it comes out. I tend to do little figure eights and wobbles. And it's coming out all over the place because it's bright yellow. As I've said before, this is a working drawing. As you can see, I'm just scribbling away. Not by any intent of just covering places where I know where the plant is, to show me when I get back into my studio that it's where I need to put the yellow. And it's coming down, and then there's more plants down here with little leaves. So therefore, at the moment we've got, again, we've got another planter, little peg coming out here with more green leaf plants, small. I don't know what these plants mean. Like I said, I'm only here to cut the edges and admire Debbie's handiwork. So we've got planter here, little leaves in, and it's sitting in front of our steps. Right, next to the steps, again, I'm just going to make this a little bit more, now I know where I am and I've got it correct, I can make it a bit more definite, and it's the edge. For those who've done my through line rule, it's an edge, so it needs to be a bit of a thicker line, because it's got space behind it, so people know that it's a prominent piece. And then again, coming down. Again, this is an edge that's a prominent edge, and this one here. There we go. Makes it a bit more definite. People can now begin to see what I've got. Here's my plant pot, a bit more definite. Right. Next to the steps, what we've got is an old chimney pot of which a lot of people have got in their garden. A lot of gardeners have recycled them, and they turn them into sort of like, some people put pots of plants in them, some people make them into bird baths. We've taken this one, and again it's coming down the side of here, and we've put, Debbie again has put some more plants into it. It's looking at it again, it's about 2/3 the width of the steps, so it's about here. It's elliptical again, and I'm just doing the ellipse. You can't see very much in the top of it because of the plant, and it's, there we go, and it comes down a little bit this way, at that side. And again we've got plants in there. These have got some leggy bits that will, leggy stems and bits on them that come into flower later on. Not exactly sure what they are. Again, I'm just indicating that there's plants there, or when I come into the studio, paint it. More flowers, a little bit of leaves on, indicating that it's actually got something inside it. Now next to the plant, next to the tomato top, is a large commercial plastic tub that we've got. What we got in that plastic tub, Deb?
Which one are you looking at?
The black one.
Outside?
Yeah.
They're all colours.
They're what? Callows?
Colours. They look like lilies when they grow.
Oh look, the callows are called.
Colours.
Colours. Well, that's what they are, Debbie says. And it's, again, it's a big ellipse. Just remember on your ellipses that you've got to be able to fold them in half if you're too technical. So that half, that curve there to match this one. They're not really, and it's a constant line, they don't have points. And it comes over as a lip, and then round again. Then what we've got is it tapers in from the end, slightly smaller at the bottom as they all do, and then we've got a round base again. I'm only doing it lightly because there's actually something in the middle in front of that. And then inside this planter, I'm going to put a lip. We've got soil to about an inch from the top, so we don't need to show all of it, it's just from about an inch to the top. And in there there's some little plants with spikes on that are coming up. Callows, as Debbie said. Callows. No idea. Tell you I'm not gardening. And then we've got another tape around it, and it comes in again, and a bit further down, and it's just sitting there waiting for them to grow. Right. In front of that we've got one of the most used pieces of garden furniture we've got. It's actually a bird bath, bought to Debbie by our lad Joe. I don't know whether was it for your birthday or was it for your
Christmas?
For Christmas. It was for Christmas.
I can't remember.
Christmas or birthday, not sure when. But that again is a shallow dish. Again, it's another ellipse. You've got to be able to draw ellipses to get on in my garden because it's full of plant pots and round things. And again, it goes. You see more of the front, so this bit here gets a little bit, and it gets shallower and shallower as you get shallower and shallower. It's just like a big, deep plate, the sort that my nana would make apple pie on when I was a lad. Nana's apple pie. Oh. It stands on a set of 3 legs. Stands on a set of 3 legs. One out here, one that comes here, and one that's there that we can't see. So it's got 3. It's got 3 legs to make so that we can make it solid. And it's full of water. Well, I'll have to paint that when I get to paint it at the end. Now, following behind this potty here, we've got what's like a little tree trunk. it's a pottery tree trunk. It's something like, it's for a bird bath that we bought years ago, and it's supposed to represent an old tree trunk. It comes down and it's got sort of branches coming off, as you can see on the picture. I'm hoping you can see this. You've got branches coming off it. It's been moulded really into concrete or masonry or whatever. And on top of that, we've got yet another bird bath. We like our birds in our garden, as you can hear. And on top of there, it's got a lovely little bird bath. There we go. So now, just under here, we can just see the bottom of the chimney pot. Having got these all done, what's it all standing in front of? It's standing in front of Debbie's greenhouse. So what I want to do now is just indicate that it's standing in front of something, and I'm just going to put the edge of the greenhouse up. There we go. Just a very fine line, if you can see it, it's a very fine line, because I don't want the greenhouse taking prominence. I don't want it showing up all the rest of my drawing. I just want it to be indicated that it's there, the frame. Now, again, the other side of the door comes up here. Again, it's another light, parallel line to the others, a very light parallel line. I prefer to draw lines going away from me, but never mind. Now, also what we've got on this little bit of a, I would call it a little bit of a patio, is stood behind, at the side of the steps, is one of those miniature bins. It's for burning your confidential waste. It's like a miniature full-size furnace bin, shape of a dustbin. Yeah, it comes. Here we go. Shape of a dustbin. It's got a little bit of a lid with a spout on it and a bit of a chimney. Oh, I do like birds singing. And it's in the background in the shape of a bin. It's got little legs on it to lift it off the floor because it's got holes in the bottom, and it sits there. That's in front of the step into the greenhouse, and then in the greenhouse, just in the background, we've got a watering can. Also, I'm not drawing that with much detail, as you can tell. I'm not drawing that with much detail because I don't want it to take precedent over any of this. This is my drawing. These are just they're there to give it a bit of a context. Behind that is a stool for sitting down when you're doing your potting. You're putting your stuff in your pots. It's a little bit of a round stool. Again, I'm not drawing it very good with much detail because it's not supposed to take away from this bit. Plus that, we've got further from that, we've got some planters with cloches on the top. I think Debbie's got some beans all being planted. At the back we've got some more plant pots. Again, they're not being drawn very precisely because I don't want them to take over from the rest of the picture. And there's some green canes, some garden canes, all tied up like a wigwam for plants to grow up to. Basically, that's the basis of our drawing. Now I'll go back, having laid it all out, and maybe give a bit of strength to some of the lines so that we can see which bits we've got. Remembering my 3-line rule, if it's got space behind it, it needs to be a heavy line. If it's on a base, it's not quite as heavy. It's got space behind it. It shows the edges. Again, I don't want these lines here to show. I've got a plant pot. I can do a little bit more with that. get it a little bit thinner, the sides, and a bit more of my plants. Bit of shading in here because it's coming down. Then the edge of my chimney pot, again just pulling my lines down to added the texture. Again, just to make sure you can see what areas I'm dealing with, and picking out the lines I want to completely keep from when I come to do my final picture. Got a bit of space behind here. There we go. Full of shade now, the garden. As you can see, I've got it all over my hands. A little bit of a planter. Now these are all sitting on, we've got some paving slabs. It just looks as though they're floating at the moment. Got some paving slabs which I've put down. And as I can see, they're just coming towards me. When I laid these down, we didn't want them all, so I've done them a little bit. I'm going to do them a little bit more interesting. I'm going to give them a bit of a, we're going to have them sort of every other one, so that it looks a little bit more interesting in the drawing. Bit of tile, if you know what I mean, tile. You can hear that blackbird, he wants me to move. And we've got, so hope you can see my drawing. Hope my camera's picked it up and my head's not going away, because I keep moving my head to more and more in, because that's how I work. Again, this is my greenhouse. It's got the door going across. Got my trees. A little bit more drawing in there. This is all glass. And my bit of shade around here. Bit of shade around here. And on the bottom. Hope you've enjoyed that. This is John in his garden, with a little bit of help from Debbie, identifying some of the plants. I'd like to say, hope you've enjoyed, stay safe, take care, John.